recording this in case there happens to be someone that cannot be on tonight's call. And you can also go back and review it for your own. So, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about prospecting and how that can change your numbers. So, again, I introduce myself as Sheila Stutz. I am a leadership development coach, and I live in Florence, Alabama. So let me tell you about a few other people that are going to be on our call tonight. So Miss Evelyn Smith, she is also a leadership development coach, and she lives in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi, nonetheless. Then we have our very esteemed boss, senior coach, Kelly Coleman. And she is such an amazing person that I want you all to get to know her. I know that we did have Elaine No in the past, and now Kelly has been introduced as our new senior coach. And she lives in Tallahassee, Florida. So our agenda tonight is going to be really short. We're going to try to keep it within 30 minutes. We're going to have a little recognition. We're going to talk about conversational selling. And then we've got a very special speaker, Rochelle Smith, that is going to talk to you about grow and its meaning to you. We're going to talk about frogs. Who knew that we'd be talking about frogs tonight on a webinar, huh? Then we're going to have Therese Freeman. She lives in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. She's going to tell you how she handles chance encounters. We're going to tell you how to be prepared for whatever answer you get when you're out in the field. The fortune, of course, is always in the follow-up, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to identify your next steps, and of course, we're going to end the call with a call to action. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the mic over, so they say, to Kelly and let her tell you about about some of the recognition that we have. Kelly, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
All right. Thank you, Sheila. And hello, everybody. Good evening. I see that we have people joining us from all over. I was just checking out the chat. We've got Fairhope, Alabama represented, Warner Robins, Georgia. Susan, you're in New York. Teresa's in Philadelphia, Mississippi, that is. You guys are from all over, and I thank you for joining us tonight from all over so that we can be together learning as one happy Avon family. And a really important part of the family you are, as our promoters and star promoters, you are the future of our business. And it's likely that you were invited to this call tonight by a leader who really sees you as an important part of her business and knows that you have a successful future ahead of you. And with that, a couple of our leaders wanted to give some special recognition to a few of you. And so I'm so happy to speak in part for Christy McCarn and Janice Watts. So let's first talk about Christy, who's a bronze ambassador, who is so proud of Erica White. Is Erica on tonight? Was checking through the attendees list. I don't know if Erica's on, but we're going to have to make sure that Erica and Amanda, if they're not on, that they both listen to this replay. Here's what Christy says about Erica. Erica's doing all of the right things to build her sales and beginning to use her selling success to share the opportunity with others and build her team. It's really fundamental. So you get out there and you're talking to customers, you're already doing the most part of the work. And so why not simultaneously share the opportunity? And that's what Erica's doing. So congratulations, Erica. Christy's proud of you. And now Janice Watts, bronze ambassador as well, is so proud of Amanda Smith. And here's what Janice says about Amanda, that Amanda has shown a passion for moving on up ever since she was recruited by Janice. Amanda tries everything that Janice suggests to her, and she just keeps putting feelers out there until she's gotten her first recruit, who lives in Dallas, Texas, so a ways away, but she's using all the tools, and she's starting out recruiting long distance, but Janice is looking forward to helping Amanda continue to grow her team, probably locally too, I'm sure. So in Texas or no matter where, she can be building her team. It's pretty exciting, the opportunity. And again, it's pretty exciting that you're taking the chance to get on these series of calls to learn more about how you as a promoter and star promoter can continue to leverage the fundamentals that make a successful leadership representative and promote to ambassador and above in the higher ranks of our advanced leadership program. As you know, there is a coaching program that's embodied in our training right now at Avon. And when you title to the ambassador level, you're eligible to be a part of this coaching series. It's a very official 13-week program where you graduate from certifying you, going through the leadership development that's taught during coaching. And so we want you all on the call tonight, those of you who are promoter or star promoter, or maybe you're just starting your leadership business or thinking about the leadership opportunity, we want you to take these fundamentals that are shared tonight and then this 6 training series, and we want you to embrace them, to apply them to your business, and title to ambassador and above, and join us in our coaching opportunity. And so thanks for letting me join tonight. I look forward to seeing you guys promote, and I'm looking forward to checking out what Sheila and Evelyn have in store for us, because prospecting is our most fundamental element of a successful leadership representative. So Sheila, tell us about it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to Evelyn right now for the next couple of slides, and then I'll come back to you in a few minutes.
Good evening. How you doing today? Well, listen, I just wanted to share a few alarming statistics with you. Did you know that 47% of women over 50 are single? How about 50% of marriages end in divorce? And as of 2000, women's life expectancies is like 7 to 10 years longer than a man's. And guess what? This was alarming. 7 out of 10 women at some point in their lives will live in poverty. But thank goodness to Avon, because by making a difference, they come in and they make a difference in these ladies' lives by empowering them to own their own business. And never, ever will they have to be a part of these statistics again. Okay, Sheila. Tonight, we're going to discuss selling the Avon opportunity, and keep in mind that this can apply to the same skills as you would use in selling a product. So I want you to reflect back on the times when you've been inside of a store and you were a customer. And if that salesperson was very timid and passive, think about how did that make you feel? Just think about it. Just for a minute. Close your eyes and just think about it, okay? And what if that salesperson was very overly aggressive? How did that make you feel? I don't know about you, but when someone is over aggressive for me, it makes me want to push back a little bit, okay? Well, our goal tonight is to help you believe in yourself and have the confidence to build a relationship and grow your business through easy conversations, okay? And it's really easy. It's the confident enough to grow your business. And what I mean by grow your business, it's an acronym, right? It's the G to get to know that person and their needs, the R to recommend the right Avon solution, and the O to offer a relatable story that demonstrates your belief, and then to the W to work and establish the next step. And that's very simple, right? So just think about the things that I said. I have the opportunity to introduce to you one of your peers who absolutely uses the grow and growing her business just about, and I know, every day. She has earned just about every incentive that Avon has put in front of her, and she's already got her bags packed to go on the cruise to the Bermuda. Her name is Rochelle Smith. She's a Rose Circle and a Gold Ambassador, and she lives in Newton, Mississippi. Without further ado, I've introduced to you Rochelle, and now Rochelle, it's time for you to take it over. Rochelle? I think she may be on mute. Can we unmute the line? because I don't know which one.
Let me check and see if I see that she is on mute. She should be able to do *6 and unmute.
She dialed in.
Let me see.
Rochelle.
Okay, I do not see her on our list, but she should be able to just *6 her telephone, and then she should be able to speak.
I'm texting her.
Okay.
I know she was dialing in because she's traveling.
Okay, I understand. While we're doing that, let me tell you about something else. On the materials, and if you will look down toward the bottom of your little grid on your right-hand side, it says materials. If you will click on materials, you will see two different things that you can download and you can print out and use for your business. One of those things is the Daily Care Bundle. And I know that we are going to talk about that in a few minutes, and we wanted everyone to have the actual slide to be able to text out or email out to your people. We're also going to talk about prospecting using frogs, FROGS. And that item is also there for you to download and be able to print and use it anytime you want.
Sheila.
Yes.
I'm sorry. She said it kept cutting her off. She was talking, but it just hung up on her. Okay. So you may have to unmute all the lines so that she could speak because she's dialing in.
I can do that. It's done. Okay. Everything is unmuted, Evelyn.
Okay, Rochelle. Are you there? Rochelle? I'm not hearing you, baby.
These technology, doesn't it just irritate you sometimes? You know, when you need it doesn't work. Are you there, Rochelle?
I'm here. I was talking earlier. Me unmuted.
Good deal.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Hi. How y'all doing? Yeah, I was talking earlier and it wouldn't let me unmute it. It said this line could not be unmuted. Well, I am Rochelle, and I'm talking about grow your business. Grow your business. Consider every conversation a potential opportunity. Get to know the people, the person, and her needs. Recommend the right solution. Relatable stories that demonstrate your belief. Work to establish the next step. Sheila.
Have a request. Could everybody, if you are on your computer, could you mute yourself? If you are on the phone, do *6 or mute so that way we can hear Rochelle better, please. Thank you, Rochelle.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think we've already talked about the G. G is to get to know the person and her needs. That's the G in grow. The R is recommended the right solution. The O is all about offering related stories that demonstrate your business. The W is all about working to establish the next step. Okay, Sheila. And also, where do you find a potential recruit? Your prospect list frogs. F equals friends. R equals relative. O equals occupation. Can you hear me? Occupation.
Yes, ma'am.
G equals geography. S equals social.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. And I think, Evelyn, you had a couple of questions that you were wanting to ask Rochelle so she could answer them and they could understand what all she's doing to make her business grow. Is that right, Evelyn?
Yes. Now, Rochelle, you can explain to them how you do your growth.
Okay. Now, how I grow my business, when I don't care where I'm located, if I'm behind a person in line, I just ask them, are they familiar with Avon? And I offer them the opportunity to make, if they just want to make money for Christmas, make a career out of it, and also that daily care collecting kit that we have for new representatives, that's a good icebreaker. I get them to text that picture to everybody in their phone because it's a $65 value only for $19.99. And once they get 8 people to order that, that's $150 order right there. And that's the icebreaker for them. So when that daily care collection comes in, they put a book in that bag and they go another order. And then if a person tells me, well, I don't think I'm interested in Avon, I ask myself, well, can you recommend somebody, maybe your sister, your mom, your auntie, or somebody that you think they would be interested in putting money in their pocket? So I just offer the opportunity to any and everybody.
That's awesome, Michelle. And tell us how, when you're getting to know their needs, tell us what do you do when you know their needs? What questions do you ask?
I ask them, first I find out, are they looking for to leave their job if they're working a place? Are they looking for to make a lot of money or little money? I try to get to know what problems they're having. On my phone, when I save their number in my little note section, I put little notes in there. How old are their children? How many children they have? If they're, if they're having problems financially, if they having here or there, I put that in my notes. So when I call to check on them, I can relate back to what I put in my notes. And, oh, okay, so you remember things. So that's how I keep up with my representatives. How I keep up with my customers. It's always good to talk to people and find out what their needs are. Because maybe a person just wants a part-time job just for Christmas money or just to have money to take the family out to eat or something. Or maybe somebody's looking to leave their clock-in job to work overtime for Avon. So you just really have to listen to what the person need is to go to that next step.
And you are absolutely right, Michelle. And that is why you are earning all these incentives. I wish I could get in your suitcase when you go to the Bermuda.
Me too.
Yes,
I want to
ma'am.
go. I want to go. Thank you, Rochelle. That was great. Thank you so much for sharing those tips with us. And it made me think, hey,
Yes,
I need to
ma'am.
put more tips in on my phone when I get someone's message, their phone number.
Yes, ma'am.
Let
Me
me tell
too.
you a
People
little
love
bit.
when you remember them.
They do. They do. Let me tell you a little bit more about this frogs. So what you do is you look at this and you try to figure out at least 5 friends, 5 relatives, 5 that you or your husband works with, 5 geography. That means anybody 5 that lives around you. 5 social. That could be at the ball field or it could actually be Facebook. So now we're going to move on to the next slide. And let me tell you about Miss Therese Freeman. She is a President's Club member. She is a silver ambassador and she lives in Muscle Shoals. She has been with Avon for about 3.5 years and she has made President's Club 3 years out of that. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Miss Therese, for you to tell me all that you do, and I know you do a lot, when you have chance encounters. Go ahead, Therese. We're waiting.
Okay. Good evening. Sheila?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yes, I try to make the most of every encounter. It doesn't matter where you are. You can always strike up a conversation with someone. When and where was the last chance encounter that you had? You have to always ask people to join your team, but the first thing, you don't just talk about Avon. You have to get them interested. You use a conversation starter in order to make new connections. You connect with your chance encounter to start a conversation. You might find common ground in a grocery store or anywhere. You holler, oh, this grocery line is so long. Uh, who has time for this? And then that's an open-ended question. So it will start up. How would you rather be spending your time? Is there something else that you can ask? And then you can kind of go into other things of what you like to do and all, and you compliment them. Oh, you look sharp today. What do you do? Uh, how do you do it? How do you like this? Something. A lot of times I go from different places, grocery stores, and all, and I wear my badge everywhere I go. And if people will stop and ask, what does your badge say? And then you tell them, oh, I'm glad you asked. Or else they'll say, oh, you're an Avon representative. Yes, I am. And here's your book, because you're always prepared. Therefore, you don't have to look for anything. So you always have your stuff with you. You have to warm a person up and you ask why, what, how, who, when, and then you ask questions like, tell me, and you be interested in what they are saying. You want to know what their needs are instead of just trying to tell them on everything that you do. You want to find out some of their information, background information on what they do. How is your job going? Tell me about it. What do you do? How do you do it? Managing your family and a career. And what do you think it is the hardest part of staying home with your kids? And if you can find your situation, what would you like to change? If it's something that you would like to do different in your life, what would it be? Why do you like to volunteer with the PTA? And just open-ended questions so they can tell you why, what, or how, and then you can kind of scoot into asking them to join your team. Ask her to join your team. Why don't we get you started today? Honestly, I would love to have you join my team. How can we make it happen? What additional information do you need to get started? What additional information, if any, can I provide to help you determine if the Avon opportunity is the right one for you? What are some other ways to ask her to join your team? These are what you do. You have to ask open-ended questions about, if they like staying at home, if they like being their own boss. And you can also relate some of your stories to them of how you got started in Avon. But not only your story, you can also relate other people's stories that have came and talked to you about how Avon has helped them get started in their business.
Well, thank you so much, Teresa. And I will tell you, in being Teresa's district sales manager for years, I have never, ever seen her out if she is not dressed, looking pretty. She's got on Avon clothes if possible, Avon jewelry, but there's not a time you will ever see her out in public that she does not have her name tag on. If you do not have a name tag,
Yeah.
you need to get a name tag. And a lot of times you can go to like a trophy shop, that does the trophies for the kids for ball or cheerleaders, and they can make you one a lot of times for about $3 or $4. So that is a great way to open the door, isn't it, Therese?
That is something when you're in a line or something, people like to read what's on your shoulder. So therefore, if they can see that badge, they're gonna say, what does that say? Or, oh, you're an Avon representative or something, and that opens up the door. But not only do you wear that badge, you also carry some books along with you, because that's the time that you can pass out books, whether they are interested in selling or not. You can still get you a potential customer, and later on down the line, maybe they can lead you into someone else that will help.
I totally agree with you. So thank you, Teresa. Okay, so let me say this. Be prepared for every outcome. If they say yes, like Teresa was saying, be prepared. Have something, iPad, a phone, laptop, something that they can join with. If you hear maybe, you may just want to talk to them and ask a few more questions. If you hear obstacles, and we're going to always hear that, dig a little deeper, find out actually what her reasoning is. And then if you hear no, that's okay too. It's not against you. It's just a no. So you could discuss other possibilities with her, products or fundraising, and stay connected. Ask her how you can connect with her on Facebook. So let's move on to the next slide. And I think that I'm going to let Evelyn do that slide for me. Thank you, Evelyn.
You're welcome, Sheila. Thank you. So as you already know, Rochelle has already told you, and Teresa said the same thing. The fortune is in the follow-up. If you miss this step, you've missed it all. So we don't want to miss any of the steps, right? So following up, here are some of the things that you will fail if you don't do the follow-up step. Not following up at all. We don't want to do that because we're not the most important thing out there. We want them to know they're the most important. And connecting through Twitter when they request to be emailed or text. Not offering up anything of value. When you get them on the phone, you want to make sure you're connecting with them and giving them something, a reason to stay with you. And not adjusting your plan of attack. So guess what? If I can't meet you on Friday, but I can only meet you on Saturday, you may have to tweak your plans a little bit so that it can accommodate me a little bit so that you can get me on your team, right? And don't ever miss the opportunity of asking them if they decide they don't want to do it. Don't cut your losses completely out of the way. You could ask them if they have a friend that may want to join at a later time, or ask them if I can call you back some other time that may be best for you. Now, Sheila?
So to identify the next steps, no matter how she responds, you need to make certain you agree with her on the appropriate next step. Set a time expectation. Don't just say, hey, I'll call you next week or in the next few days. Set up exactly the time that you're going to call her and answer her questions. Be accommodating. Like Evelyn said, you may have to contact a few of these people on Saturday afternoons or Saturday morning. Always capture her contact information and always ask, hey, you'd rather be called, text, Facebook, or emailed. Make a note, like Rochelle was saying, in your phone that tells you how you should respond to her. Capture her information and highlight a roadmap of the next steps. So, Evelyn, I think you want to tell us about this 72-hour challenge, and then we're about through with this call. And maybe
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sheila. I want to ask you to do a little call of action. So everything needs to end with a call of action, right? So I want you to take a 72-hour challenge. I want you to take the picture of your daily care bundle, and remember, Sheila put it out here in your material, so all you got to do is pull it, and you can take a picture of it, all right? And I want you to jot down the words to use, because the words are right there for you to use as well. Now, I want you to take out your list of leads that you had, friends and families. It may be somebody that you prospected, but they didn't have the $25. Or maybe those that they're not quite sure yet. They're still hanging out there on the hook a little bit. I want you to send them the picture of the bundle and the words to use. Ask them to send this picture and the words to use out to all the contacts in their phone. Okay, I guarantee you're going to get 10 orders. Trust me, they're going to get 10 orders. But once they get those 10 orders, they need to pick up the phone in a hurry and call you, because then they're ready to get started. They would have already earned money in the beginning before they even really start selling. Plus, they got enough money to pay for their $25 kit. So this really works. So don't forget to do it. Remember to take a picture, send them the words, and sit back and wait for them to call you. Now, here's why I want you to do it in 72 hours. I want you to let me know how it works for you. So let me give you my number, and I like to be text, okay? And let me know how it works. My number is 966-6758. And I'd like to know how it's working for you. Okay?
Okay. So, as we end this second class in your level up, I hope that you heard something that you can use in your business. And I'm going to leave you with this. I never learn anything talking. I only learn things when I ask questions. So that is what you should be doing in your job every day, is to listen to your lead, listen to your downline, listen. Don't be interesting, be interested in everything they say. So I appreciate you taking your time to be with us for this 30 minutes, and I can't wait to hear the call again in 2 weeks from tonight. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.